why JACAFA Foundation is offering this scholarship for us? So is it every time you apply for any scholarship program or the program itself, you have to consider the eligibility criteria. Here, one of the main parts, you need to consider whole your life. Try to be really careful here. I had a question asking, how would you contribute to JACAFA? It's not the main part. I was rejected for many programs too. So JACAFA scholarship is a scholarship by the foundation named JACAFA and the Nippon Foundation, which are basically based in Japan. And they provide scholarship, it was correct, $110 every month during 2 years. After 2 years, you're going to be an alumni of JACAFA Foundation. So let's go for applications. JACAFA Foundation is fully supported by the Nippon Foundation, has decided to grant scholarship to university students in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and here we go, we have Uzbekistan too. Basically, we all are from Uzbekistan, right? Or are there any students from other countries? I think, well, Azerbaijan and Georgia. So the scholarship program started in 2019, and the followings are the details of the proposed scholarship program. So as I mentioned before, it's 2 years. So it means, we have presidential scholarship here in Tashkent, and it's kind of almost $100. No, it's almost $200, and it's given for 1 year every month. And the total amount of money is almost the same here with JACAFA, because you receive $110 for 2 years, and you receive for the presidential one $200 in only 1 year. So up to 2 years until the graduation in June, subjective to annual review. So I want you to consider this part, subject to annual review. It means once you get accepted for JACAFA scholarship, it doesn't mean that you are granted to get scholarship for 2 years. The scholarship can be terminated or cancelled or suspended as well. So it depends on the fact that you're not violating the rules of the JACAFA Foundation, and you are like 100% sure of all the terms and conditions. You go for scholarship amount, it's $110 per month, and inclusive to taxes and dedication, so there are no taxes for you. And scholarship funds are to be used for successful completion of study and other academic activities. Example, purchase of textbooks or fees for attending special courses or seminars. Here, I would like to mention that. So why JACAFA Foundation is offering this scholarship for us? So is it like we say in Uzbek, right? So that's the main idea of the JACAFA scholarship, empowering students, helping them, supporting them while they are studying their bachelor degree. So that, for example, I am receiving this money and I'm spending it for my IELTS course. It's plus for me, right? So others can receive that money and use that for buying books or other stuff which is related to your studies. So please keep in mind when I hope you all are going to get accepted one day, and if you get accepted, spend that money for self-improvement. It's like empowering you so that you would become a great human capital. So let's go with eligibility criteria. So eligibility criteria is important because every time you apply for any scholarship program or the program itself, you have to consider the eligibility criteria. If you do not meet anything or any part of eligibility criteria, you should refuse of applying to this program, because anyway you are not going to be accepted. It's strict. The competition itself is high, and they are not going to say like, hi Maile, he's not meeting only 2 out of 5 criteria, so but he's still meeting 3 criteria, right? No, it's not going to happen. Well, we go first. Academic record. The applicant is required to have a minimum GPA of 3.0 on a 4-point scale or the equivalent. He or she will be required to maintain this average throughout the whole scholarship grant duration, which means you have to have, we have like 100 out of 100, right? So, and we have out of 100, and you should, when you go for your university and ask for your academic record, they provide you on 4 based 2 or 5 out of 5 scale. You just need to convert it. So for converting, you may use special websites, which are like, for example, there are numbers of websites. You just enter it. For example, out of 100, for example, 86. You enter it, and it gives you the amount out of 4. So actually, that should be done by your university, and if it's not done, you do it by yourself and bring it, and make sure that they put their signature on that document, because it's really important. So here we go. Language qualifications. So actually, this is something new, because in the year when I was applying, there was less strict conditions for the language requirements. Language qualification: good spoken and written abilities in English language. Proof of English ability must be provided through such things as TOEFL, IELTS, TOEIC certification, and or a record of English course completed. All communications between potential applicants in JACAFA Foundation will be in English and by email. So JACAFA is Japanese foundation, right? Why don't they accept Japanese then? Why don't they require Japanese? Well, there was a guy who applied to this scholarship, and during the interview, he was trying to talk in Japanese because he has really good proficiency in Japanese language, but still he got rejected because the rule is rule. They require English, so you need to be able to communicate, write in English itself. So that's why while I was preparing for this event, I said that the event is going to be conducted in English, because if you don't have a good knowledge of English, you're likely to get rejected. So also, if you have no TOEFL, no IELTS, and still you want to apply, you must provide here, here's the part, a record of English course completed. So for that case, you may just take, how can I say that? For that case, you may just take a special spravka from your university. Every university has English department, right? Language department. You may go there and ask for spravka that you speak English, and they even may have their own examination, which may give the level of your English, which may show you the level of your English. So you may just go for the for university's English department and ask for certification of your English language skills. They would give you. So I think that's going to be a backup plan for applying to this part itself. So the next is each applicant must be a local citizen of the country. So you should be a citizen of the Republic of Uzbekistan, because you're applying from the Republic of Uzbekistan, right? And you study here in Uzbekistan. And age limit of 23 applies to all applicants at scholarship starting time. So this year, for example, I cannot apply. I wouldn't able to apply because I'm already 23 this year, and you need to be less than 23 by the starting time. It means by the September. So starting time is September, October, and if you still meet the criteria, you may go and apply. So, well, each applicant must present a valid passport which allows to travel foreign countries. Red passport. We know that, right? For red passport, it's not going to be a big problem for girls. Yeah, but it might be a problem for boys anyway. But you may just go to the Vayenkamat and say, like, I'm student. You provide your student. The certification of your that you study at the university. You take it from your university and provide to the military part. And after that, you can apply for the red passport. So the applicant must be already enrolled as a full-time student at the university in one of the countries listed above. So we remember, right? So you all are students, right? Cool. Well, the applicant must be beginning the final 2 years of his or her undergraduate course. This part is really much important. This is the absolutely vital part because many students who are junior or even in the last year students or especially first year students are keen on applying to this scholarship. They can't do that because there is a specific criteria of 2 years itself. And as there is this kind of criteria, you have only one chance. Like when you apply once, you get accepted. If you get accepted, you're going to be accepted. If it's not, you need to learn in other projects which are on my Telegram channel. Okay, the applicant must be 2 years. Like for example, there are students who study 5 years or 6 years, right? So for example, for those who study 4 years, it's going to be the end of the second course. But for those who who study 5 years, for them it's going to be the end of the third course. And those who study medicine, for example, it's like end of the fourth course even. So it should be 2 years remaining. Yes.
Undergraduate course. It means I can apply for this foundation after the second course. Right?
No, in the end of the second course. And undergraduate, it means bachelor's degree. So it's not going to... First course. No, you can't apply. It means you can apply next year. You have a good opportunity to bettering your English skills. I would really recommend to all first-year students to study hard for the IELTS course because it's really important and it's gonna help them for the entire journey of their bachelor's degree with special extracurricular activities. It's really important. I restarted my IELTS now and I kind of regret that I haven't started it earlier. It's really important that you have a grade at least 7, but I would recommend 8. I would recommend to get 8 for your from your IELTS for the entire your journey and for your master's degree too. So it's really gonna help you. Yeah, try bettering your English skill. Well, eligible fields of study: social sciences. So for the social sciences, the social sciences itself is wide range. Because for the social sciences, there are other parts too, which are all connected to the society. It's psychology, it's everything which is connected to society. So social science are really wide of range. Like computer engineering or IT engineering, so it's obvious, and local agricultural development. So it's irrigazione, right? But for the social sciences, for example, it applies for, I think for mine too, international relations. I study international relations and it goes for social sciences too. So what do you study, guys? Huh? Law. It's social sciences anyway.
English philology.
Yeah, philology. It is. And you? Economics. I think it also applies to social sciences as well. So Engineering. You are like you, good.
Economics.
Economics goes well. And you? Philology. Yeah. Anyway, you may just try to apply. Anyway, it's okay for you guys to apply. So okay, now we are going to cover selection criteria. I think it's almost the last part. Well, consideration successful applicants will have excellent manners, honest character, pleasant personality, and good communication skills in English, both spoken and written. It all is going to be checked during the interview. Okay, let's go further and look how it's going to happen. The stage 1, you're going to submit an application form with necessary documents until 15th of April 2023. I'll show it above. So in the stage 2, you're going to your applications will be revised, like reviewed by the selection committee. And the stage 3, you're going to have interviews. It's not going to be only 1 or 2 interviews. It may even be a third interview as well. I had, for example, 3 interviews. Yeah, and for example, in that interview, you need to, I would recommend you just follow kind of IELTS structures or something like that. You need to show yourself. You need to, how could I say it? For example, you go for a job interview. You wouldn't say, hi. For example, they're asked, what is your name? Or no, what is your name? It's okay, but they're asked a specific question and you're not going to answer it with 1 word, right? You're going to expand your answer. So you need to do the same here too. For example, try to show what kind of person you are. Try to be polite. Try to show that you have good manners of communication, and you can really be a good part of the team, because JACAFA scholarship is a big team and a big family of scholarship recipients. Well, final selection in the July. The interviews, it's not might be, it's going to be conducted online. Anyway, it's going to be online because they're not gonna go to many countries and to interview everyone. The results will be sent to your email. Always check your spam. It's always, when you're applying for something, you always check your spam. And it happens all the time. For example, I know my friend who missed the same JACAFA scholarship because of his spam message. Well, the JACAFA scholarship itself, what does they do? By the way, is it working? Could you please just look at if there are some questions or something? Yeah. Is it still working? Yeah. We are going live. We are live. Hi everyone who are in the live. So additional potential benefits. It's not just money you receive. It's many more than money, because scholarship recipients may be invited to attend JACAFA Foundation events such as annual General Assembly, conferences and forums held annually in different Eurasian countries. Recipients will be eligible to apply to for the JACAFA Foundation Japan Visit Program. Oh, the program itself is my dream now. Contest when they become alumni. To become alumni, it means after 2 years. For example, for 2 years you receive the scholarship, and after that you become an alumni, and you are still in the database of JACAFA scholarship, and you will have many privileges which offer JACAFA scholarship and their partner organizations. So select applicants will receive a fully trip to Japan by the Foundation JACAFA scholarship. So for this part, for example, last year, not last year or this year, I don't remember. Last year there was a JACAFA scholarship awarding ceremony where we received our certificates, and also there were other alumni too, and they had fully funded trip for for example, for attending this awarding ceremony itself. So there were speeches by the alumni, there were speeches by the representatives of the organization, etc. So you will be fully funded. You will have fully funded trip on those kind of conferences, forums, and annual meetings. So yeah, and I should mention that the conditions are really good. You know why? Because when that conference happened here in Tashkent, participants were staying in, what was the name? Hyatt Regency Hotel. You know, right? It's not the like cheap one. It's expensive one. So they stayed there for 3 days, I think, and their flights also were covered by, everything was covered by the JACAFA scholarship. Yeah, you have obligation of submitting a valid ID and many other obligations which you can read in this document. It's on in my Telegram channel. So the main thing is that your scholarship can be terminated or cancelled anytime when you violate the rules of JACAFA Foundation. When you start performing less than 3 in your, for example, in your academic records. For example, you started receiving scholarship and you started performing less than 3 out of 4 at your university. So that does not suit the values of the JACAFA scholarship. That's why they may just suspend or cancel your scholarship. That's why you need to be sure that you have responsibilities here too. So finally, we are going to just look through the application process. For application documents, in addition to documents which we covered before, you need to submit current student identification issued by the university that the applicant is studying at. So actually, it's not only by the university, provided by university now here in Tashkent, in Uzbekistan. You know, we all now have Yagona Darcha, right? And there is a my.go.uz. So that's an application you can download from App Store or Google Play. So you register there and you just put the buttons and it gives you that document. For example, this kind of person studies here. So it has in their database where do you study and which course you study. So yeah, certification of your enrollment, it can be taken in that way. Because now university is like taking away this responsibility from themselves. Well, the valid passport copy which allows to travel foreign countries, yeah, it's a red passport. And most recent university transcript. Most recent university transcript, it means, for example, if you're going to submit your documents by April 15th, you're not going to manage to give your transcript for 4th semester. So it means that you're going to have only for 3 semesters all your academic records. You need to get that from the education department or from your dean's office. So just first of all, go to your dean's office and ask where can you get that your transcript. So as I mentioned, about 3 out of 4, it should show 3 out of 4. How much do you have? Well, we're done with this. An application form to fill it online via the link. So here is the link. You go to Google Forms and fill the application, and there you will need to also submit an essay. Here, one of the main parts, you need to consider whole your life, which may kind of show that you are the person who is really important for this society. and you are the person who has gone through many things and all the challenges you have faced and all the like all your achievements you have done and what kind of person you are. Here's the essay is the part when the selection committee gets to know you. So, and they would take the impression. It depends on you how to write the essay, so that they get good or bad impression of you. So if you get good impression, you're likely to get that jackpot. Well, you got it right. So, and the next one is two or more recommendation letters from professors. So. Yeah, and there is one part which I want to say. Don't consider the same. Yeah, it's common knowledge that in Tashkent or in Uzbekistan, all the recommendations are written by students themselves and given to the professor so that he or she signs it. Well, in that case, anyway, just consider the fact that you don't need to repeat yourself here. Mostly, like in essay and the recommendations. So, for example, you're writing for your one teacher who taught you English, right? Just to try in that recommendation letter, try to cover all the things which are related to this subject itself. How did you perform? What kind of abilities did you show during the semester? Or what kind of person what kind of impressions you left to the teacher or something like that. So do not list your achievements here if they are not connected to English. For example, if we are considering English professor. Well, and also for the next one, I would definitely recommend to take a recommendation letter from English department, because we know that English, having a good knowledge of English is really important here. And also try to consider the fact that they should describe your personality. So the thing which why they are these two parts are included is getting to know you. So try to show a good impression. Well, okay. Here we have achievements. Here we have your personality from different views, from different professors. So try to be really, really careful here. Okay? Do not repeat yourself. The full set of requirement documents listed under items 3 and 5 should be emailed to Foundation JACAFA. Here is the Gmail. The successful candidates will be conducted for further selection process by email. So yeah, it's not that you're just filling the online application form like we do in many projects. As soon as you finish the online application form, all the documents you need to send to the given Gmail. Yeah, don't forget about that. So this particular document can be found on my Telegram channel, Smandar Saraev. Please follow. Yeah, and you may also give any questions which you may face during the application process. So, yeah, are there any questions? Yes, please.
I study in foreign university, and there we have official transcript and unofficial transcript.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unofficial we can get on our own from website, but official we have to order, and it's not free.
Mm-hmm.
And, my question is, should we apply with unofficial, or it's better to order? And they, those guys who provide official transcripts, they can send themselves to the to selection committee.
Yeah.
Or like what should we do with this?
Okay. Which university do you study?
Webster.
Webster. Okay. Webster. You really need a signature from educational department or somewhere there. For example, you study at Webster University in Tashkent, right? So there should be an education department, which should be over there at the university or campus itself, and you need to contact them so that even if you take the unofficial one, they should sign and give a stamp on that. Yeah, there should be a stamp and a signature on that. So if you get that unofficial one, just have a signature from educational department. If there is no educational department, you have. So in that case, the problem is clear.
And I also have outdated IELTS certificate, but my studies are in English.
So you may. What's your band score?
7.
7. It's more than enough.
But
Yeah, it's outdated. It's still it's okay. You can just send that one, and also during the interview, try to mention that you study in American university or your studies are conducted in English. So actually, when you send that document, it's okay. And while interviewing you, they would obviously notice that you have a good command of English. So that's not going to be a problem for you.
Thank you.
By the way, I also applied with a expired IELTS.
Alright, so it's no problem.
Yeah, there was no problem with that.
And how long the essay should be?
How long?
Yeah.
Well, there is no specific one. So here is one more scholarship recipient, Donyor. He's alumni, and he's also going to share Japan visit program, right? If you don't mind. So, and do you remember how long should be the essay long? I personally do not remember.
Generally, it was suggested that we should write 2 pages, and 2 pages is normal. But if you wish to write longer, you can add as an additional essay, like a paragraph with additional topics. You can just divide your essays with topics, and the main point should be in these first 2 pages, and after that you can also, as a form of the bullet point or list or additional information, just include about your achievements, about your interests to the discipline.
Yeah, and also consider the fact that the people who are reading your essay are the people. They do not. Too long essays could be kind of negatively influenced, and that's why try to stay short. Do not repeat yourself in the essay. And I think had 1 or 1.5 page essay. So 2 pages is take the 2 pages as the limit. Okay, so because too much would be too much. Well, yeah, and also I wanted to say about the Japan visit program. Japan visit program is, as you saw, you may get to the Japan visit program once you finish receiving the scholarship and you become alumni. You are still in the database and you can apply. And only one candidate from each country will be awarded with fully funded scholarship to visit Japan, and Donyor is one of them. He visited, I think, in 2020, last year, yeah, 2022.
But we also need to separately apply.
It's going to be, you're gonna apply once after 2 years, when you finish receiving that scholarship.
And how do they notify that we can, it's not on social media or somewhere. They just send email that hey guys, you can apply.
Yeah. It's like once you get accepted for the scholarship program, you're going to be added to the special Telegram group, or you're gonna have your chat, and also you're going to have annual meeting of General Assembly, and also forums or conferences where you can also have a presentation on that. Yeah. Any other questions?
How much students can apply this scholarship?
As I mentioned, you can apply only once. Once you have 2 years left to the end of
How
this.
much students in Uzbekistan?
How many?
Yeah,
Oh,
how many?
actually, it's not limited. As much as possible, as I know, Uzbekistan has the biggest number of applicants. The biggest number of applicants, because we have so big number of population, and 60% of which are youth, young people, and I think we have 5 or 10 people, 10 people accepted every year. So it's a good chance anyway, because 10, for example, for the program which I got accepted recently, there were only 5 seats. So still 10 seats are really good, and taking the fact that only second year students can apply, it also cuts many potential potential candidates which may have opposition to you. Mm-hmm.
Should we have so many achievements?
No, not really. Not really. Just try to list the achievements you have, and try to show your personality. Try to show your ambitions. Which kind of ambitions do you have? How JACAFA is going to help you, and how you are going to help JACAFA. Because I remember in the last third interview, I had a question asking, how would you contribute to JACAFA? How would you contribute to the JACAFA? And I was answering that, well, I study international relations, and my second foreign language is Japanese. And anyway, I'm going to work with Japan in the future in the sphere of international relations. So I think I'm gonna anyway work with the JACAFA scholarship too, because I will need a good communication and good relationship, international relations development between Uzbekistan and Japan. So I think this is the way I can contribute to JACAFA, and also once in case of acceptance, I'm gonna contribute my best for the projects which are organized by JACAFA scholarship. So that was my answer.
Yes, I think the interview is the most important part.
Yeah.
Because Guru Something also
Yeah.
applied, but I thought he doesn't announce. He haven't announced the. I have selected or I haven't selected.
Yeah.
That I thought he was rejected.
Yeah, I was rejected for many programs too.
Yeah,
So
I know,
yeah, I know that. Yeah, she was rejected.
But I don't
Yeah.
have like
The guys who also got rejected, they also had almost like really less number of awards. It's just the personality. It's really subjective part. You need to show yourself in a correct way. So this is how you're gonna apply for the project for the scholarship program. And yeah, I know Guru Bonu too. We are good friends, and we study together. And for example, we also got accepted for the PDA, and also for the project in America. So yeah, and there are some.
awards is not the important thing.
Yeah, it's not the main part. It's how you show yourself, and what kind of person you are. So in the way you can contribute to the development of the JACAFA family. So this is the main part, the important part in any interview. Yeah, just consider the fact that if you do not get accepted for this program, you're gonna apply for another program, which you can find on my Telegram channel, and of course get accepted for yours. I have been a participant of so many programs, but every single program, if you take every single program when I got a scholarship for, there are 4 rejections for each of them. That's how it works. Like the people with good stamina are gonna win. If you, for example, recently I was in Kazan, and before getting accepted for Kazan, I was rejected for 5 times. So, and after all, I got accepted. So this is how you're gonna manage participating in this kind of project, in the youth project. There are many projects and there are too much applicants and they have to choose. And sometimes it may seem unfair because you would say that you are better than that candidate and he got accepted and you don't. You never should consider that. And I always say to myself, for example, when I get rejected from one project, I always say like, okay, I'm gonna have another and better one. Yaxshirog'i kutib turibdi mana bu, значит, что-то лучше подготовлено для меня. So always try to keep that mindset and always try to apply for as many projects as possible, which are connected to your personality, connected to your interests, connected to your sphere of study. Yeah, thank you. Well.